Hi guys, Cindy is Supposedly Chic and welcome to my keto vlog episode number 2. Guys, this episode had some unique challenges because my husband and I went away for a 3-day weekend, and so this is the first time since starting keto that I had to rely 100% on other people's cooked food and not food that I prepared myself. So there were some challenges. I did try and sort of anticipate some of those, but there were some curveballs that were thrown my way. We'll see how that goes. I did a lot of live taping while I was at Morongo Casino, so you will see a lot of my meal choices. We'll talk a little bit about, trying to keep the macros and the fat ratios and all that good stuff at the level it needs to be to stay in ketosis. So guys, if you are ready, let's get started. So here I am. I'm going to share with you what I brought on my vacation with me to sort of help me stay strong in keto during the weekend while we're here on vacation. So I'm going to talk about the things I brought and what I've got for sustenance. All right, so I've got myself some cheese bites and some macadamia nuts for when the snacks attack. I brought some Quest protein packs. I brought my Powerade Zero and a little bit of vodka there. You see to mix with it for when I'm at the pool. I also have the chocolate bark because that'll handle my sweet tooth cravings when I'm here. In the little blue container is powdered cream. In the event that we can't find heavy cream here in the restaurants, I'm going to bring that to put in my coffee. For my morning bulletproof coffee, I have the Bulletproof Instamix, which is not quite as flavorful as my butter and MCT oil, but it's not bad. You see there's a Keurig here that we had with the hotel, and I brought a shaker bottle, and I brought actually my BB-8 shaker bottle, and you can see it's got the little metal shaker inside of it, so I'm going to go ahead and put my bulletproof ingredients on my coffee, and then I'm going to shake it up before I drink it. So now let's take a look and we'll see what's in the fridge. So we have string cheese, we have Powerade Zero, and then we have almond milk because I'm going to mix that again in the same shaker bottle if I want to have one of my Quest protein shakes. While we're here, let's look at all the stuff in the mini bar that we're not going to touch. Those M&Ms in that Snicker bar, they're going to stay there for sure. Look at this thing, you guys. It's full of soda and sugar and just a bunch of junk that's going to stay right where it belongs, inside the mini bar. Add to that all of these snacks, pretzels. Actually, the peanuts wouldn't be bad. There's pretzels, there's chocolate covered something, almonds maybe, and then jelly beans. So those will all be staying there because I brought myself enough snacks, keto approved, that I am not going to be wanting for anything on this vacation. I hope this gives you guys some pointers on how to successfully vacation while on keto. All right guys, this is night 1 at Morongo Casino. We are in the restaurant and I ordered grilled salmon. I substituted the potatoes for grilled vegetables. There's mushrooms, tomatoes, and spinach. And it's really good. I got a side of melted butter right here. And it is yummy, guys. We'll see you next time. Well, here we are, breakfast number 1 at Morongo. Yesterday was a great day. We hit the road, so we started out with actually no breakfast, actually. I had my bulletproof coffee in the morning. We grabbed a Starbucks on the way out. Realized sort of halfway through the day that I actually hadn't eaten lunch, so I grabbed a couple macadamia nuts and a string cheese. Played around with some alcohol concoctions a little bit. Still not really happy with the Powerade vodka, but we'll get there. So I did have a couple Bloody Marys while I was out in the pool. I will tell you guys, be careful because when I got back to my room after 2 Bloody Marys, I was feeling a little woozy. So just careful with your alcohol intake when you're doing keto. So now let's talk about this morning's breakfast. I got the filet Benedict. What I'm gonna do, I kind of like to have it served with the bread because it sort of soaks up what's going on, but I will actually, okay, that didn't work as I had hoped, take the bread off completely. It's actually easier with regular Benedict. There we go. So that bread will just go over there. So here is my filet Benedict for this morning. And guys, you just have to ask the questions that you need to ask to make sure you're in keto. This right here is my heavy cream for my coffee. I wouldn't have had it if I didn't ask for it, and almost all kitchens make their own whipped cream, most restaurant kitchens. So you just have to ask them to check with the kitchen to see if they have heavy cream. So now I'm all set with my coffee, I'm all set with my breakfast, and it's all keto approved. So bon appetit, and we will check in a little bit. Yeah, arriba, my friends. We are at Tacos and Tequila. We are going to start out with some buffalo wings. I have just one or two, but I've got loads of ranch dressing. I have my glass of Cabernet, and my dinner tonight is chicken fajitas, and I'll show it to you guys when it comes out. Lots of sour cream and lots of guacamole. Olé. Chicken and steak fajitas, guys. So I have a bunch of peppers. I have a bunch of onions. If you look here really close, they still gave me beans and rice even though I didn't ask them to. So I just scraped all of that crap off of my plate. I asked for a whole bunch of guacamole and a whole bunch of sour cream. I'm actually gonna dump this, I think, onto my plate and just make it all almost like a cream sauce on my meat and my peppers and onions. So again, you know what, you gotta take grapes to make wine out of them, I guess, right when it happens. So here we go. It's time for our Mexican feast at Morongo. Over easy. We have a side of avocado. We have bacon. Again, we asked for the heavy cream. We've got that with our coffee. So just back to the basics this morning for breakfast. Totally control on my macros. And guys, having an awesome time being able to do keto on vacation. Interesting fact, you saw everything that I brought on the trip to sort of take care of my snack cravings, and when I did a tally at the end of the weekend when I got back, I had actually eaten one piece of string cheese, never opened the cheese snacks, had a handful of macadamias probably every day that we were there. The Powerade and vodka angle did not work, so I brought a bunch of Powerade Zeros back home with me. But I did actually get to explore some different flavors, and I found out that I'm not a big fan of orange, but strawberry isn't bad. But guys, if you want a foolproof way to get your electrolytes and a little bit of like sweet sugar flavor, go with the Powerade Zero Fruit Punch. I guarantee that's the best one they got. So like I promised you guys, in prep for this coming week, I'm gonna make some fat bombs, and I am a fan, as you guys know, of my last week's vlog, of chocolate, and peanut butter is a close second. So what we're gonna do today is a really easy fat bomb, guys. We just throw all the ingredients in a bowl and then we scoop it out and we chill it for a little bit. So we're going to be using cream cheese, butter, peanut butter, swerve, vanilla extract, and peanut butter. So we're gonna start with the two hardest that I think to actually blend together, which is the cream cheese and the butter. So we're gonna go ahead and throw in the cream cheese and the butter. And guys, one of the things I like about this recipe is it doesn't have almond or coconut flour in it. And while that's not a bad thing, I did make some fat bombs a week or so ago, and they just sort of taste grainy with the almond flour in them. So I'm excited to try these ones because they are just the butter. The only granulated thing we have is the sugar. So a whole stick of butter, a whole package of cream cheese. Give that a little mix here. All right, now we're adding the peanut butter. Also guys, all natural peanut butter, no sugar in this guy, just nuts and oil. Make sure we get every last drop out on that guy. Now we'll toss in the sugar. Last thing we have is our teaspoon of vanilla and pure vanilla extract. You guys know artificial vanilla because that will also give you sugar. It smells really good already. And then the last thing we'll do is throw the chips in. Let's just get the vanilla stirred around a little bit. All right, guys, and that's what it looks like. And now we're gonna throw it in the fridge for 30 minutes, let it harden up a little bit so we can actually scoop it into balls. All right, so our dough is chilled, and now the fun part, we're gonna scoop it onto parchment paper and try and fit this cookie sheet into my freezer. I don't know what freezers these ladies have where they're like, yeah, make like 50 of them and freeze them. I'm lucky if I can fit even a bag of green beans in mine. So I'm gonna spray with coconut oil, and again, just gonna scoop it out. So it looks about like that, and drop it on the parchment paper. Again, as big or as little as you want. Some days you want a big fat bomb, some days you want a small one. So I just do different size ones. And don't skip the coconut oil spray step, because it really, you've got sugar, you've got butter, you've got peanut butter in here. So it can really stick to the scoop if you're not careful. And you could just use a spoon, but again, if you invest in this cookie scoop, it makes, you see how quick work it makes out of it. If it starts to get a little sticky, you can go ahead and spray it with a little more coconut oil, just a little. And guys, quite honestly, these are your fat bombs, so you like a lot of peanut butter, put in more peanut butter. If you like a lot of chocolate chips, put in way more chocolate chips. We're gonna freeze these for 30 minutes, and then we're gonna just put them in a baggie, and that is going to just sit in the freezer, and then when we need them, when we are ready for a fat bomb, we will just take them out of the freezer. I like to let them thaw just a little bit, although it kind of tastes like bonbons, if that's what you're going for. All right, there's our last ball. Guys, it's just that easy. Okay, so here are our fat bombs all set to go. Again, peanut butter, sugar, butter, cream cheese, and chocolate chips. And they're going to the freezer for 30 minutes, and I will tell you, I'll be having one of these for sure tonight. See what I mean, guys? Not only are they at an angle, but they're on the top of all my frozen vegetables. But hey, whatever it takes in order to get these fat bombs frozen up and good to go. Okay guys, so back to the grind means back to cooking. And I wanted to share with you guys a keto hack that I made to one of my family's favorite recipes, and that is Parmesan chicken. Now don't get that confused with chicken Parmesan, it's not Italian. Honestly, it was a Best Foods recipe that I found that was chicken breasts, Best Foods mayonnaise, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and what you did was you sort of mix that together and then you put it on top of the chicken. So I made that a couple times for my family, and they were like, this is so good, why don't we put the coating all the way around it? So I modified my recipe, and I've made it for years, but I made it with breadcrumbs. So you'll see what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dredge the entire chicken breast in the mayonnaise Parmesan mix, and then normally I would put it in breadcrumbs, but today, guys, I'm gonna put it in the pork skins. So I have already crushed up my pork skins, and just to show you really, I just use my rolling pin. I take a bunch of the pork rinds and I put them in a Ziploc bag, and then I just kind of, more than rolling, I really sort of lay on it, and I just make sure that I have mostly small pieces. The big pieces are kind of cool, it kind of almost looks like fried chicken, but yeah, just make sure you get everything out. So now I'm just putting it into my breading tray. I already have my pan sprayed with cooking spray, and I've got my mayonnaise measured out. So the mayonnaise goes into the bowl. Sorry guys, battery problems, but we're back. So now what we're doing again is mayonnaise into the bowl. I just get a little generous with my garlic salt. So I blend that together. And then the last thing I do, guys, is I grate Parmesan cheese into it. And you may say, oh, why don't you just grab the bagged stuff? I don't trust bagged anything, and specifically bagged Parmesan cheese has wood pulp in it to help it not stick with the change of temperature, so you never want to get bagged Parmesan cheese. So I usually put about 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese in here. Like I said, I eyeball it. I've never had anybody say, oh wow, that's way too much Parmesan cheese, so I think we're doing okay. All right, so then I blend that in there. All right, and then just like any other meal, oh, by the way, I salted and peppered these chicken breasts. So I just throw the chicken breast in there, make sure it's coated with mayonnaise, the mayonnaise mixture on all sides. I coat it with pork rinds, and into the pan it goes. So we just repeat that process with all the pieces, and I just have 2 standard chicken breasts that I cut in half. I feel like they cook a little bit quicker, and then you have more coating on all of it. And our last piece of chicken, and that's gonna get all the rest of the mayonnaise. So this is usually one to go for because it's the moistest, moistest, I think. And guys, really this, the mayonnaise on the chicken when you bake it, it sort of locks in the juiciness of the chicken. And like I said, it's a family favorite for us. So there are our 4 chicken breasts getting ready to go in the oven. And if I have any extra pork rinds, which I usually do, I will go ahead and just sort of sprinkle them on the top. All right, now these are gonna go in a 375-degree oven for about 25 minutes based on the thickness of the chicken, and I will show you what it looks like when it comes out, guys, because it's phenomenal. And here's what dinner looks like. You guys can see what the pork rinds look like on the chicken. They sure make it nice and crispy. And then we have cauliflower risotto, grilled zucchini, and an avocado. All right, guys, so just to recap, lots of challenges at Morongo. Some of the things that you didn't see on air was when we went to the pool area, which we do a lot, just so you know, kind of the way it works here in Southern California, like Indian gaming casinos, you just kind of spend the day out by the pool, getting all tan or in some cases sunburned, get a little liquored up, and then you go back to your hotel room, shower, have some dinner, and then go gamble. That's kind of how my husband and I work it out. So first roadblock was the fact that you could not bring in to the pool area any outside food or beverages. That would be fine if they sold things like macadamia nuts or cheese bites, but they don't. Had a little tussle with the security, and yes, guys, there is actually security at these hotels, about how to, you know, sort of be able to snack healthy without, you know, their nachos or their, gosh, what else do they have? Chicken sandwiches, French fries, etc. So sort of lost that tussle. I actually had to put my macadamia nuts in a $10 locker, but you know what? You got to make lemonade when someone gives you lemons, right? The other thing that I thought was going to be a great idea, but sort of didn't quite pan through, was they had on Friday night and Saturday night a lobster and steak buffet. Sounds phenomenal, right, guys? All of our cool stuff, lobster, butter, steak, you name it, right? Well, when we got there, and we got there at, oh, I don't know, 5:45 perhaps, there was a 2.5 hour wait, okay? First of all, you say, well, you know, that kind of happens at busy restaurants. But guys, that was in a line, in a turnstile line, like if you were on a ride at Disneyland, standing the entire 2.5 hours. It's not like you could put your name in, walk away, they would call you. No, they expect you to stand in like cattle in this trough waiting your turn. And guys, I love food, trust me, and I love lobster. Especially unlimited buffet lobster. Don't even get me started. But there is no way in hell that I'm going to wait standing in line for 2.5 hours for a buffet. Just not going to happen. I don't understand, keto or not, I don't understand how anybody would be able to do that. So we spent most of our meals, as you can see, in the cafe. The last night we did have a really nice dinner at the steakhouse, and that was everything I could have hoped for, quite honestly. It was the best meal of our trip. So again, you also saw what happens when we get back. You know, it's Monday, so I do have a short week. But what does my week look like? You know, what do I need to plan today now to prepare myself for my week? You know, I actually travel for business. I drive around locally, you know, in my car. I'm a field salesperson. So I need to be able to plan ahead, you know, fail to plan to fail, right? Is that how it works? So you guys got to see me make some fat bombs, because that is, if I look at my macros, it is really hard to get all your fats in, especially, you know, I kind of tend to like more lean meats and vegetables. So if you noticed on my videos, almost every time we had a lunch or a dinner meal, I asked for a side of melted butter. You know, I can throw that on my vegetables. Like in the first night, I think I threw it on my salmon. So that's a way to get some of your fat in. I also spent a little bit of time showing you how I have keto hacked one of our favorite family recipes, which is the Parmesan chicken. And you saw how great it looked. It actually tasted just as great as it looked. I don't know who created crushed pork rinds as a bready medium, I guess, but they're brilliant. You know, it's just, it allows you to sort of think that you're eating like fried chicken or breaded chicken without any of the carb derailments. So guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. Like I mentioned in the beginning, we're going to be doing this every Tuesday, and it's going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. You will, like I said, we did have some challenges this weekend, but I sort of figured out ways to work around them. Guys, if you have not already, please hit that subscribe button right now. And if you're new to Supposedly Chic, right here you can see our first keto vlog, and here you can see a couple other episodes that we do here at Supposedly Chic. So guys, thanks again so much, and until next time, keto on.